2026.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting live from the Margaritaville Terrace on Fort Myers Beach, 100 feet from the Gulf of America. Here are your award-winning social media superstars, the hosts of Beach Talk Radio, Kim and Ed Ryan.
Yeah. Thank you all very much. Thank you all for coming. A late arriving crowd this morning. It's a little bit chilly, but it really is a nice day here on the terrace at Margaritaville, where we do our Saturday show at 10 o'clock, and our Sunday show with the mayor is every Sunday at 10 o'clock at Wahoo Willie's. Making the grand entrance, everybody. Here she is. So happy to have you back on the show after weeks and weeks off. What were you doing all those weeks not coming on the show?
I've been cleaning.
Yeah.
And resting. You know, I work 7 days a week, so I at least like to have one day off.
Would you care to give the audience an update on how our grandson is doing, being that you spend so much time with him? You got fuzz on your face there. Gotcha.
He's doing fantastic.
Yes, and you guys are getting to bond a little more than I am, but
you don't follow the rules.
All righty.
Just saying.
So we have a great show lined up for today.
Cause and effect.
Yeah, and our first guest is going to tell us about a great event that's coming up next Saturday in Santini Plaza, and she has a business in Santini Plaza. And come on down, Annette from Annette's book, Nook, is going to come down and tell us. A big hand for Annette. And while Annette comes down, if you're a late arriver to the show, we are giving away a choice of 3 prizes here from the resort. All you need to do is fill out the sheet of paper that's in the bucket on this table here, and we'll draw a winner at 11 o'clock. So, Annette, nice and close with the mic. Tell everybody how you're doing.
I'm doing good.
Go ahead. Try that again. I got to turn it on.
Yeah, no, he's got to turn it on. Go ahead. Try.
Dear, give her your mic.
All right, here, Annette, because he doesn't know what he's
doing. The buttons are frozen. That's what's going on on my machine.
Is that better?
There we go.
There you go.
All right. Tell everybody how you're doing and how the book Nook is doing.
I'm doing good, and I've opened 1 year now since after the hurricane, and it's going very, very well. I'm pleasantly surprised at at the support and how many people have been down. And every day it's more and more places opening up. So it's really nice to see.
I can't believe it's been a year. I remember going just before you opened. You were designing the children's area.
Yes.
Yeah, and that turned out fantastic when I was there. I'm sure it's even better now.
It is. I've actually had children's story hour in there where the kids could, they sat on the floor and the author read her book, and then we had arts and crafts and stuff. So yeah, the children's area has been very, very popular. I'm so happy that I designed it. My other store didn't have a designated area that they could actually spread out in. And now they can pick up a book. They sit in the little chairs, and so
That's
it's
great.
nice.
So for anyone that doesn't know, if you go to Santini Plaza, which looks fabulous, by the way, with all the landscaping and the parking lot and the way that Urive has redone the building, it really looks great. It's basically all full except for, I think, South Beach and maybe one other place. But
Right.
your location is down in the alleyway where Anita's Islander is.
Correct.
To the left-hand side, right on
Yeah,
the end.
right behind Liani's.
The Annie's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
that'll also be, I think, where they have the fashion show every year for the Community Foundation,
Yes,
which
they
is
do it
on
in the same aisle.
which
Yep.
is on Valentine's Day this year, February 14th, I think, is a Saturday. And
okay.
they're doing it at Santini Plaza like they do every year. And that's a big fundraiser for the Community Foundation. Now, during the storm, all your books were lost.
Everything. Not only the books in the store, but my storage was in the plaza as well downstairs. So all my backup books were lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the folks that follow our page and a lot of other people in the community helped you recover with donations.
Yeah, 2.5 years of dropping carloads and mailing boxes to my home. Yep, I was able to reopen thanks to all the donations.
And those were those new books and used books, or
Well, I had mainly used books, but
Mhm.
then for my children's section, thanks to your Amazon
the wish list.
I was able to fill my children's section with new books.
And you
So-
have all kinds of books. Tell everybody.
All kinds, everything from nonfiction to women's fiction, which is a big seller right now. Women's historical fiction. I have a whole children's section, which has been very busy this last week.
Mhm.
A lot of families down, and they
Cool.
were able to come in and for a couple dollars get a book for each kid, because the grandparents don't have a collection of books here. If they did, they got lost in the hurricane. So the kids were able to stock up and come in, and then of course some of the kids, they only had their one idea of what book they wanted, so they were able to come in and find it. So
What's
that
the
was good
number
too.
one kids book? And by the way, it's nice to see that parents encourage their kids
Yeah.
to read books still.
Oh yeah.
especially
Yeah.
even on vacation.
Yeah, no
Oh
kidding.
yeah. Well, a lot of the kids are telling their parents to take them
Yeah.
to the bookstore.
Really?
Yeah. This last week, a lot of families were down for vacation, and the parents would come in, or the grandparents, and they would be like, the kid said, first thing we got to do is hit the bookstore, because they were used to it from the previous years. So yeah. So, but the biggest book for kids right now is the Dog Man series. I can't keep that on the shelf.
Yeah.
The
It's a-
Dog Man series. Wow.
Yeah, it's
I
a
am
graphic novel.
Can I tell you, I thought I was up on reading. Like, I like to read. I've been reading for many, many years. And then I saw, like, National Review is a website that I follow, and they did book recommendations
Uh-huh.
for all the people that work at the magazine. And I didn't recognize any book. Not a single book there was like 30 of them, and it made me feel so stupid, like I'm not
Well-
really reading enough.
Well,
You're not stupid. It's just that your interests are so specific,
Yeah.
and you don't think anybody else has any other interest than what you're
I
interested
don't think
in. So
about
I
what
think
other
you're
people
like,
think about. What are you talking about?
no, you don't. No, you don't.
I
Think
love the
about-
James Patterson books.
Yeah, so
and
that's
things
all
like
you
that.
do, and then you're surprised that that's not the only book that's on the most popular. So
Yeah.
you're very one-track minded.
Well, I get a lot of people that come in specifically, all they read is the one or two authors. And then they'll like, well, I've read everything by them. And I'm like, well, then you got to read something new.
Yeah.
Find an author you have not read, pick it off the shelf, read it. If you like it, you found a new author.
Do you believe people are reading more books than they are on the Kindle these days, or is
Well, yeah, they are. The Kindle is good for traveling, and but people who have read all their lives, they
Yeah.
want that physical book. It's a
Mhm.
different experience to read a book
it is?
and hold it in your hand than it is to read on the tablet. And even those that love the tablet or even listen to them, they still every now and then want to pick up
Oh,
that
I
book.
can't listen to books on tape. I just
can't
can't
That's
do
where
it.
you and I are so different, because
Yeah.
that's like the only way. I have a hard time staying on the line, and
Yeah.
so I have to reread everything a million times. So I
Well,
love listening
you're
to
not
them.
the smartest match in the book.
I just
so-
don't have good eyes. I'm
Yeah.
smart, but
Yeah.
my eyes stink. I like listening to them. Also, you can do that while you're driving,
Yeah.
which you cannot do,
Well,
reading.
I'll
book.
hear things in the
But-
bedroom, like I'll hear people cursing at each other in our bedroom, thinking, "What the hell is going on in there?" And some
Yeah, I don't listen to books. I've
Yeah.
tried, and because you can do other things, my mind will wander to anything else I'm doing
Yeah.
instead of the books. Now, when I sit down and read a book, I forget about everybody.
See,
People
it's like
actually
the
have to,
exact
they have to
opposite for
tap
me.
to
It's
wake me
weird.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the Man Dog
The
series?
Dog Man.
Dog Man
Yeah.
series.
It's about a part man, part dog cartoon graphic novel that fights crime. They
Really?
actually made a couple movies on it.
Yep.
Too.
They did.
yeah.
Wow. And who's the author of that series?
Ooh.
Now you've got me there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean
There's,
to
yeah,
put you
there's-
on the spot like that. But are they long books? Are they short books? Or are they?
They're not long, and they're graphic novels, so the kids can read them and follow the pictures. Which
I see.
is
That'd be
actually
good for
very
you,
helpful.
dear. Pictures with books. You're good
Please. Please.
at those. You're gonna better get
But
the
there-
zinger in before you did.
No
There's
kidding.
enough words to get them going. And
Yeah.
graphic books, actually, in the beginning, I didn't want to carry graphic books because I thought, it wasn't encouraging kids to read. And then I talked to a couple teachers, and
Yep.
they told me it was a stepping stone.
Yep.
No
It
kidding.
got them
It actually
interested in
supports
reading.
it,
Yes.
not supplants it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now I forgot what I was going to ask because you were
Well,
interrupted me.
I was using
Oh,
big words, and you sort of.
do you
zoned
remember?
out.
We've had you on the show quite a few times. Do you remember what my favorite kids book is? Do you remember?
I don't even remember,
Yes,
and
you
I'm
do.
married
Yes,
to
you do.
Oh.
Do you remember, Annette? You have no idea, do you?
No idea.
It's Cat in the Hat. It's Dr. Seuss. That whole. I mean, I could breeze through
Green
that
Eggs
whole
and Ham
series
is your
right now. Green
favorite
eggs and
one.
ham. Do you carry
Dr.
green eggs
Seuss
and
is-
ham?
Green Eggs and Ham. Yep. Cat in the Hat. Cat in the Hat Returns. I actually have a stand in my store that's a Cat in the Hat to put the books on.
Nice.
They're still very, very popular. I have a stack of used ones that I'm constantly replacing.
Now, how do
Mhm.
can people still donate books to you? Are you still taking donations? And
They do. They still drop off books. They come in. I do have a little trade-in policy where they can bring them in and get a little bit of credit that
Nice.
they can put toward the purchase of books. But a lot of people are still supporting me, and even when they're getting books, they're like, "No, just take these
cool.
and donate them." So yeah.
Yeah, we have some books we should bring
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
What got you into the whole book thing?
I love to read.
Is that I mean, like to become a bookstore owner is what I meant.
She loves to read.
I
Yeah.
love to read.
I'm sorry,
mean,
I'm asking her the questions,
Well, she
ma'am.
already,
I mean,
she already
I could-
asked and answered
we could
it.
do this at home if we don't want any guests. We could just sit there and interview each other.
You're not listening.
No, I just love to read. I was not a librarian. Most people think I was a librarian and that's what got me into it. It's just that I love to read. And because of that, I just always hung out at bookstores.
Really?
And when the opportunity came, I was helping the previous owner out, working a little bit for her and stuff. And then when she passed, I had the opportunity to just
Take it
open and just go for it. And I did.
Yeah, I still can't understand how any of those Barnes and Noble places stay open. They're so gigantic. I mean, they're huge. And with the transition to a lot of Kindle reading and a lot of, you don't have to go out in the traffic. It can be on your device within 30 seconds or less nowadays. It's just amazing how I can understand
But,
yours is kind of like a unique situation, but those places are gigantic.
But book lovers just like to go into them and wander
And sit and
and pick up and look. I mean,
And they have other stuff in there. They have
Yes.
like toys now. They have a coffee shop in there. They
Yeah.
have some
Yeah.
other stationery gifts. But
And you don't even need to buy a book from Barnes and Noble. You could sit in one of their comfy chairs,
in one of their
read
chairs
the
and
damn
read,
book, and put it back on the shelf, which is
Yep.
a silly business model. But what do I know? They're still going. What was the Books a Million? Are they still around too?
Books
I
a
don't-
Million are still around. They
Yeah.
don't have
Wow.
as many, but they are.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite book of all time?
You know, when people ask me that, I said it's like when you have children and you ask which is your favorite children. It depends on how you feel that day. But I can say that
How are you feeling today about your favorite book?
Yeah, I can say that The Secret Garden, when I was a kid, was the book that actually took me away into another reality, I can say. And that really got me into reading. I used to read Nancy Drew because I like the mysteries and stuff. But The Secret Garden, I just pictured in my mind everything about it. So to me, that was my first real escape into a book. And
What was The Secret Garden about?
The Secret Garden was about an orphan. Well, she goes to live with her uncle in this mansion, befriends a boy who's crippled, who everybody caters to, and she doesn't. And they find this secret garden. They find the key. They go in, and they just start planting the garden. And the boy himself learns he can do things. He doesn't have to, be weighted on hand and foot, and he learns to actually build himself up and
Now, who
walk.
told you about that book? How did you learn about that book? Is that something?
That was pretty popular.
It was?
I feel
Yeah.
I've
back
never
in the
heard of
day.
it.
No, I would just pick up when I was young. I would just pick up whatever books were available at the
Ed,
library.
have you read The Secret Garden? No, not yet. You're going to pick it up today? What was the last book you read? Zell Miller? Is he a golfer? Oh, he was a politician. Yeah, good thing there's nothing going on in the world right now, everybody, right? I mean, it's just another dull day in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, gotcha. Thank you. Yanier's in charge of the gifts. That's why I'm looking at him. Not the gifts, the giveaways. So anyway, so we have a big event coming up next weekend at your place. Tell
Yes,
everybody about it.
Well, it's called Books on the Beach 2. And I have right now 30 independent authors who are coming. They set up their table and talk to people about their books and sell their books. And then for my store, I have like refreshments and we have door prizes. And it's a very fun event. It's January 10th from 11 to 2. And pretty much between the Islander and Liani's, we just line the tables up and you come and just have a fun time. And it's a way for the authors to showcase their books. And I did it for my grand reopening to thank the authors because they were very helpful in me getting started. They let their fan base know about me and stuff. But everybody had so much fun, both my customers and the authors, that they asked if I'd do it every year. So I decided to do another one.
Yeah, and some of the local authors will be there that we know. I'm
Yes.
sure there are others that we don't know that are local, but like Ellie will be there to talk about her book, Lost Icons, and Lee Melsick will be there to talk about his book. What is his book again? Finding Huck?
Finding Huck.
Yeah. And
Tales
he's writing
from
a
a
new
Good
book,
one.
too. I think he's got a second one he's working on now.
Have you ever written a book?
I have not.
What is going on, Annette? What's holding you back? Come on.
Yeah. Well, basically, it's because when I was in college, the only thing that kept me off the dean's list was English. And so I don't do spelling. I don't do English properly. And
They
so,
have
but
apps for that this day. If you
yeah,
have a
I
good
know,
idea, I think you should put.
I do
Not
have
pen to
I do
paper,
have
but
two good
keys
ideas
to-
for books that someday I might.
What is one of them? Share one of them.
She doesn't
Oh.
want to give away her secret.
Well, one of them would be a young adult book about a boy who ends up in a little town, and it involves ghosts and the afterlife and things like that. And
We can call it Secret Garden 2. Something like that. So let's see. Judy wants to know if there's a list of the authors that you can see somewhere.
Well, I've been posting them on Facebook, Annette's Book Nook on Facebook. I don't have the full list. Each time I go on Facebook, I put another list. So you have to follow to see everything. And then I have some pictures as well of their books and what they're about. So
All right.
And how many did you say you're going to have?
30.
That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a
I
lot.
actually
That's a
had
lot.
more people wanting to do it, but I was worried about the space.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So 2 writers groups, the Southwest Florida Writers Group and the Gulf Coast Writers Association, are going to do their own signing, one in February and one in March, so that the members that they had that I had to say no to can actually showcase their books. So
And there's plenty of parking at Santini Plaza. So the only thing to keep in mind is you probably want to get there a little early so you don't get stuck in the seasonal traffic. It's
Yes.
11 to 2 o'clock
yes,
next Saturday at Santini Plaza. When is your kids' day?
my next Kids Day is, I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, is February 14th. I with everything going on this month,
Thank you,
I
sir.
didn't do it. But
Yeah,
February
appreciate it.
14th, a lady named Deanna Keln, and she comes down for about 3 weeks. She's been coming to Fort Myers Beach for years, and she wrote a book called Grandma's Hearts, and she has a series of them, and each book is for each of her grandchildren. So she actually has the caricature of her grandchild in each book, female. Some of them are males, some of them are females.
Cute.
Yeah, and so they're called Grandma's Hearts, and so she'll be reading, doing a reading from her book.
And if somebody wants to donate some books, the best thing to do is just come down and drop them off to you.
Yeah, the best thing to do is just drop them off, because you can mail them, or you can even drop them off in Bonita if you're in Bonita. But the best thing is just
Just drop them
anytime
off
I'm open.
anywhere in Bonita. Just go to Bonita and drop them somewhere. I mean, is
No,
there a
at
place?
my house.
Oh, we don't want to give out your address for Bonita, do we?
Oh yeah, it's on my web. It's
Oh, it
on
is on there.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah. So if
Because
you,
that's how most people, when I wasn't open, were able to
Yeah.
drop them off. So
gotcha.
And if you mail them, can't you use book rate so it's a little cheaper?
it is.
There's a book
you
cheaper.
mail,
There's
Yeah.
a book rate? I didn't know
Medium
that.
media
mail,
mail.
yeah.
Yes.
I see.
It
All
is
right.
cheaper. It's that's what I usually tell people, to go to the post office. They'll ask you, "Is it really books?" And you say, "Yes."
Oh, Lee.
Yeah,
just-
when they pick it up, they should know how
Yes.
heavy. By how
I'm
heavy
glad
it is.
Lee put that in there because I didn't want I don't want to forget Monica is going to be there too. Monica Lynn
Yes,
with her
Monica
dolphin book.
Lynn with her dolphin book will be there. There's surprised at how many authors actually live on the beach.
Mhm.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, either they're down for every season or they live here. So I've got a few more. Marty Ambrose, she's another one. Barbara, I forgot her last name, but
Barbara will be there.
Yeah,
Look for Barbara.
and they do historical fiction, so they're not about the beach, but they are beach authors. So
Right.
And
And what are
they-
the hours?
Thank you very much.
You're
The-
welcome.
Of the book
Of your
Nook.
the
that you're
book-
open. Yeah, yeah.
Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30, and Saturday 9:30 to 2:30.
Do you work
and I'm
all those
closed on
hours yourself?
Yes, I do. That's
Holy
why I'm
moly.
closed on Sunday. And once a month, I take a weekend off, and I either close Saturday and Monday, off
Yeah.
season.
What do
We'll
you
see.
hear about Santini Plaza? Any juice you can share with us? Because being that you're over there, what are you hearing?
Just that people are happy the Italian restaurants are
Mhm.
reopened. I have not had a chance to eat there yet. It's only been open a few days, but I'll tell you what, all I could smell yesterday was the garlic.
Is that
That's
that's
great.
pretty? That's great. That's pretty.
Yeah, my door was open and I just smelled garlic. So it's got to be good.
So the other any news on South Beach that you've heard? I haven't seen much work going on that. On
Well,
that spot.
they're all working.
Oh, they are.
They are working. It's just how long it takes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in there working at South Beach and the breakfast place over Easy and the hair salon.
Oh, there is going to be hair salon.
There's
Somebody
gonna
did
be-
ask me about that. A hair and nail salon. Where's
Yes.
that going to be?
Well, it's down the aisle where the storage is.
Okay, down closer to the
right
Ace Hardware.
behind right behind the UPS.
By the way, the UPS store is open. They're a brand new
Yes, they
sponsor
are.
of ours, and they're wonderful people. So we'll be talking more about them. And anything, have you heard that one place that sells everything from fishing poles to
Freaky Boutique.
yeah, Freaky Boutique. Are people going in there and eating and drinking at the bar there?
They are.
Okay.
They are.
Because I know they did all that work without a permit, so hopefully they're going to be able to get a permit after the fact, or maybe they did.
Well, they didn't do all the work without a permit. It was
Right.
just one little thing.
The bar part is what I heard. At least that's what the pictures were, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, what I heard, it was just that they put couple extra TVs in that were in part.
Oh,
of the
hopefully
thing.
that's it then.
That's
I mean,
all.
that's easy to fix.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Cool.
That's what I heard.
Good
It
for
was
them.
just the TVs that are behind the bar, so it is
Yeah.
the bar area.
Yeah.
But it was just the TVs putting the electrical, so they just had to have the electric.
Good for them, because that's
Checked
pretty
out.
unique. I mean,
Yeah.
we've tried to get them on to promote what they're doing over there, but maybe when they're all finished, they'll come on.
Yeah, they're really, really busy.
Good
because
for them.
they just keep, they keep redesigning.
They have
and
everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people on the south end. Every time you go all the way to the other end of the beach, you see people running and biking, and a lot of kids around.
Yes.
So that's good
A
down
lot of
on that end.
activity.
Yeah, it's good
There
to see
is.
that.
And since we've been doing the farmers markets on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, that's brought a lot of people to the plaza as well. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Anything else you want people to know about the big event and Annette's book Nook?
No, it's just follow me on Facebook, because
Yes.
besides the big book event, I do a lot of individual authors can sign up for selling their book just themselves. So, and I'll be posting those on Facebook as well. So.
Great. Can we get a big hand for Annette for Annette's book Nook?
Yes.
Thank you, Annette, for coming on.
We look
Appreciate
forward
you
to
very
you
much.
putting a book out now. Annette,
Yes, that's
so-
right. The Magic Garden 2. So before we tell you guys about our sponsors and get to our next segment, these are the gifts that the gifts. I keep saying gifts. The giveaways that you'll be choosing from. If you haven't filled out a ticket, there's a Margaritaville bucket going around, and just need to write your name and email address on there. And we are going to turn all of those over to Margaritaville at the end when we give away a bigger prize. But these are your choices at 11 o'clock. A $25 gift certificate to the Margaritaville store, a complimentary appetizer at La Di Da when you purchase a meal. And this is always the most popular one, 2 complimentary day passes to the pool. So that's the 3 prizes that you'll get to choose from when and if your name is picked out of the hat. The other thing I wanted to mention was a big thank you to everybody who helped out with the 5K race at Diamond Head.
We're gonna have to change that. We should have changed it to the Chili Willy, because it was cold.
was
I
better-
was so impressed with how many people. I was impressed with how many people signed up, but then that they showed up, because I would have been like, take my $30. I'm sipping cocoa and y'all have a good time. 'Cause it was, and there was one girl in like the running shorts, like the spandex running shorts and a tank top. I was like, and then there's me,
I had 4
with
sweatshirts on and a pair of jeans with underjohns
I
on.
had 2 pairs of pants on. I had gloves. I had socks. I had 2 things over my head. I mean, I looked like Nook of the North. But I mean, I don't think I would have been able to run in that. I would have looked like the Michelin Man. But those people did great. There was a couple of dogs out there. There was this one little black and white dog, and he or she was going like a bullet down the beach. They all had leashes on.
Yes, they all asked in advance if they were allowed to bring dogs, and I said as long as they have leashes. But there was 507 registrations finally at the end of the day, and it was walkers and runners, and I think the winning time was like 17 minutes and change, which was completely bizarre.
I almost think it was less than
Yeah, because you had to run through the soft sand for a little bit to get out to the hard sand, but still you're running on sand, you're not running on pavement, which is I thought it was the
that
easiest
kid
thing.
would have lapped me.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just
he could have ran a marathon at that pace. It was crazy. So we raised $12,000 for the Fort Myers Beach Women's Club, which was nice, and we thank everybody for helping out.
There
all
was
the
one guy.
volunteers.
Did you see the one guy that ran in his bare feet? He was sitting on the back of your truck putting his shoes on. He's like, my feet are freezing. I'm like, yeah, no kidding.
All right, our sponsors today.
I'm going to take a break.
Yeah, all right, because I know you work so hard in that
I know,
first
I
segment.
gotta
You
take
might
a
want to
break.
take a nap.
Woo!
Michael Stewart is a structural engineer. He can design. We're going to need to move the camera over for the last chair, by the way. If you want your house to stand straight up and not fall down in the dirt, call Michael Stewart first. Otherwise, you're going to pay later. He can design any structure, which is residential or commercial, Mechanical, electrical, plumbing. The first call of your rebuild should always be to Michael Stewart. And you can check him out online at mstewartpe.com. Of course, he's Florida registered. You can check out his license number at 72459. mstewartpe.com. That's mstewartpe.com. Or you can email him at mstewart@mstewartpe.com. Thank you to Michael Stewart. One of our other sponsors is located right over across the bridge. I think Sunday is a big game. Is this the Packers-Vikings game? Is that tomorrow? I think it is tomorrow, right? Who's favored in that game? Anybody know? Are they both out of the playoffs? Or can one of them make the playoffs? Nobody's paying attention to football anymore this year. I know I'm not. Marina Cantina is located right next to Parrot Key. They're going to be the overflow from the Parrot Key location, which is a Green Bay Packers location. They're open. They're the Marina Cantina Tin Tiki. They opened back in October, right at Salty Sands Marina. The grand opening was October 25th. They're open 7 days a week, starting at 3 o'clock. You can come by car or you can come by boat because there's plenty of dockage space right there. It's waterfront eating. You can look out on the water. It's beautiful over there, located right on the water at Salty Sam's Marina. And they bring back the Fort Myers Beach feel. It's very rustic, tiki bar vibe, sunset views. They also have live music over there, a nice little stage inside. And finally, speaking of Santini Plaza, the UPS store is now open for business. They pack and ship. They guarantee they'll pack and ship your packages. They have mailboxes available for rent with a physical address. They're open 7 days a week. Remember that, 7 days a week. They have a notary service, print services, and a lot more located in the Santini Plaza. If you have any questions for the UPS store, might be a lot easier than driving all the way to the USPS store, and your car might be towed for no apparent reason right in front of the USPS store. You can call them at 239-747-6222. 239-747-6222. All right, everybody, there's another big event coming up on January 14th at the library here on Fort Myers Beach, and that has to do with the Legal Aid Society. We've had the folks from the Legal Aid Society on once before, and they're back again to tell us about this free legal advice event. And I got to turn everyone's mic on. Andrew, how are you? Good to see you again.
Very well. Thanks for having us.
And this is a new person. Last time.
No, it's not.
It is.
Maybe the glasses.
You threw me for a loop. Okay, there you are. You have glasses this time. Andrew, introduce who you brought with you. Terry said she was coming on, but maybe after. She's not coming on. Go ahead.
Terry's more than welcome to come on. This is Shems Elbaz, and Shems is one of our newest attorneys, and she's licensed in New York, still waiting on licensure in Florida, and she's licensed in Istanbul too, in case anybody has a Turkish law question.
Now, well, we did talk quite a bit.
That comes up every once in a while, I guess, right?
Well, we did talk quite a bit about Turkey. Anything you can share about the law in Venezuela these days? Anything?
I knew you would ask about that.
So tell everybody first about the Legal Aid Society again.
Well, sure. We're getting close to 60 years old now, and
you look great.
Thanks. For that time, we have been ensuring that people without the resources to hire a lawyer still have access to the justice system. And we did that for the first 50 years, mostly, frankly, by making sure that kids had child support, because that's about all the time we had to do anything. But in the last 6 or 7 years, let's say 5 or 6, the kids don't get worked up, 5 or 6 years, we have actually been able to expand in some exciting ways. And one of those is to events catering specifically to seniors. We forged a new partnership with the AARP, and that's allowed us to do some events at some local libraries. And we're here today in part to talk about an upcoming event we have at the Fort Myers Beach Library. That's going to be on January 14th from 9:30 to noon. It's the AARP likes us to focus on issues related to hurricanes and damage from hurricanes and claims related to hurricanes and contractor disputes and such. But frankly, we'll be happy to talk to anybody, whether you're 50 plus and have a question like that, or whether you're somebody else entirely with a different kind of idea. We pride ourselves on being able to handle whatever you can throw at us.
And it's great that you're able to offer free advice. I mean, we've watched the transition of how some of the folks on the beach had to deal with insurance and, FEMA to a certain extent. But then now the biggest one is the contractor screwing them when they're trying to rebuild. You trust the contractor, you put a down payment down. They say they're going to do this, they say they're going to do that, and then they're not there. And so how are you helping people with the contractors?
Well, there's a couple different tools that we have, and one of the most important, the Florida legislature just gave us about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and that was in response to not Ian, what was the one? Irma. After Irma, there were a number of what were called assignment of benefits agreements, which is a fancy way of saying you're standing in the rubble of your home, and somebody comes and says, if you just sign this, I'm going to do all your negotiating with your insurance company for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. We'll take care of everything.
That was us during Irma, and it didn't go well.
No, it really didn't go well for the vast majority of people who entered into what are called assignment of benefits agreements. And so the Florida legislature doesn't really like to stand in the way of private people making private agreements, but they did make it so that if you're going to do an assignment of benefits agreement, you have to have a whole bunch of stuff that none of them do. You have to have a really long warning in all capital letters and a certain point font, and it's got to appear in just the right way. There's all kinds of different benchmarks they have to hit. There's bail-off points to allow the consumer to cancel those agreements. So really a lot of different, really frankly, tricks that there's no way you're going to know unless you have legal training. So that's one of the things that we're able to help people with pretty quickly if they got an assignment of benefits agreement that have gone sour, as many of them do.
More specifically, will you go after a contractor for somebody that's 50 and over somehow, some way, or is at that point after you do the free consultation with them on the 14th or whatever event you're at, is it up to them to hire somebody?
We have in very limited cases, just because quite frankly we can't take it. We've dove into a handful of cases involving seniors and contracting fraud, but our goal, because bluntly, we just don't have enough lawyers to represent everybody. And there is, at least at present, a means of going to a lawyer who knows what they're doing and assuming that they can make the right claims in the right way, they can get their payment from an insurance company or from a contractor. So our goal is to get people on the right path, but it has happened that we just can't stand what we're looking at and no one else is going to fix it. So who else are you going to call? And that's us.
How does can anyone qualify to use the services, or is there an income thing, or?
So we're proud to say we give everybody advice. I mean, it doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. There are certain questions where you need an answer. You can't really get a lawyer unless you put 3 or 4 digits on the table. And it just, the kind of dispute or the kind of question you got just doesn't really merit that. And that's one of the things that we're here to help address. But if we're going to represent you directly in court, file notice of appearance and go to court for you, you do have to qualify financially for that direct representation.
And when you say qualify, does somebody else pay their bills for them, or
No, we have to evaluate their finances. I mean, we take tax returns, we take pay stubs, we take, frankly, whatever we can get to justify the notion that this person that we're going to help really doesn't have a solid option of hiring counsel without our assistance.
When you have these meetings like the one on the 14th and somebody wants to come and show you what's going on with them, whether it's a contractor or whatever it is, what should they bring so that guys can get right to the point of understanding the problem?
Anything that they've signed that constitutes an agreement. I mean, if they're coming about a contractor dispute, and this does happen, and they'll bring stacks and stacks of emails, but they won't bring the thing they signed with the person they have a dispute with. So it's critical to not get so lost in the figurative weeds that you forget, the meat and potatoes, which is, of course, the written agreement that you make with whoever you got a dispute with.
So are you saying they're not bringing that because they feel silly that they signed something that they're getting? I mean, I don't mean it that way, but you know what I'm saying?
I didn't say that, but you're not wrong. I mean, that does, I think that's a factor in some cases, but often people are they're just overwhelmed. They're confused and they've got a ton of paperwork, and for them, they're emotionally invested in an exchange that they had with a particular person. And so to them, that is the most significant document. And sometimes it's so significant that it makes them forget what the court is going to think is significant, which is, of course, something with 2 signatures on it.
Well, and I think that's the point, is people get, I mean, I would too. You get so upset when you're in it and you know what the right thing is, like in terms of the morally right thing, but that's not always the legal thing. And it's so frustrating. Plus, you're looking at, when we just changed insurance companies and they're like, well, did you read the policy? And I mean, I have to admit, like, probably not reading it, line by line, because first of all, it's really long and it's hard to understand anyways.
And she listens to books on tape. She doesn't like to really read.
And my eyes dip down. So do you find a lot of times people have signed something and didn't read the proverbial small print, so to speak?
I think even us sometimes,
I agree.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better. There you go.
Who
Boom.
reads, like, for example, if you go somewhere and you're renting a car, who reads the rental agreement?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you're just trying to get the car and that.
Yeah. So last time you were here was to promote a similar event that you had on Fort Myers Beach. I heard it went very well.
I think it did.
What were the main things that came up at that meeting?
Well, I mean, really, I hate to say that, when you talk to, 35, 40 people a week, they kind of blend together, but quite frankly, they do. I remember a couple of them had to do with, they were still wrestling with contractors that they had made agreements with 2 and 3 years ago. And in some cases, and these are the toughest, they'll make an agreement with 15 people, rip all 15 of them off. They close down shop, they're gone, and you can sue the corporate entity, but it just doesn't get you anywhere. You can sue them personally, but now you're chasing some human being halfway across the country, and which you can do, and we know how to do it, but it's often very unsatisfying.
And the sad part about it is these people, and they're not all bad people. There's a small group of people. They take advantage of people at their most vulnerable time. They just got hit by one of the worst storms ever, and these people just want to get back in their homes. And what kind of human being does that?
Well, they're not psychologists or psychiatrists.
Are they from Turkey? Is that what the problem is?
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Ouch.
She knows I'm joking.
Kidding.
She knows I love turkey.
What can people do to prevent themselves? Like, I've seen a couple of times, so-and-so got arrested that was not even like not even a contractor that was an actual contractor and went belly up and, left somebody hanging, but somebody who wasn't even an actual contractor, because then there's nothing to sue, right? I mean, there's no.
Well,
you sue them personally?
You
from
can,
jail?
You could. They don't always get arrested. In fact, it's really the exception of the rule that they get arrested for that. And it really is just a matter of time and resources that law enforcement has and the harm that's been done and what they feel they should do. But no, really in a perfect world, they would all get arrested. But I mean, we've got a case I can think of right now, and our opponent contracted without a license. He hasn't been charged with any crimes. And I don't know that it really improves our situation if we contact law enforcement and get him arrested, because our goal is to extract this lady's money back from him and what he took. So who is served by us getting him arrested?
Yeah.
And so we're litigating the case, and he is unable to say this is an enforceable agreement I made because he doesn't have a license, and Florida doesn't allow unlicensed contractors to go into court and say, I'm going to collect on that contract. But otherwise, that's really all you get. You get just the benefit of being able to go on offense and not have to worry about defense. But then you got to get a judgment, and then you got to extract the money with that judgment. And that is challenging. Go ahead.
I get what you're saying about it, the benefit to the person that you're representing. But what about the benefit that this person isn't, gets a record and doesn't get allowed to do it again? Because what is the punitive damage to them to not repeat?
You're absolutely right. And the way that we have to organize it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, okay, I got you. The way that we have to organize it is that, if we're at an event like this or we're talking to a crowd, we are interested in the public good. But when an attorney files a notice of appearance on behalf of a person and is litigating that case for that person, everything we do in the context of the case is for that person.
Does anybody in the audience?
Can you go afterwards and take a second bite at the apple and get him arrested or her arrested?
So, dear, the way the show works is when I start to ask a question.
No, I want to know the answer to that one.
if we don't believe that there's any way that it will disadvantage our client, there would be nothing preventing us from, after the case is over, going to law enforcement and asking for a
Gotcha.
prosecution at that point.
Then you don't need pitchforks and things
Yeah.
and going after.
So
people.
does anybody in the audience have a question about what they could bring or anything? If there's anyone here that lives on the beach that has the questions that more better than us.
I have a question.
Go right
Is
ahead.
there a statute of limitations on how long this stuff can be litigated or pursued or prosecuted or whatever the word is?
For the contracts, it's 5 years.
Contracts, it's 5 years.
Yes.
So they're still in that window if it's an Ian thing.
There is a different, so there's a general rule of broad applicability with written agreements, and that's what Shems is referring to. It's 5 years. There's different types of claims that have other, I mean, you can make a written agreement with a doctor, but medical malpractice claims have a statute of limitations of 2 years from when you discover it or when you should have discovered it. That's it. And that's not to benefit
the people,
the patient.
No.
It's to
Andrew,
benefit the doctor. Yeah, go ahead.
do you agree that the laws in Florida are written in favor of contractors more than the individual?
There is only one thing that I would point to that I think is unfairly slanted in favor of contractors, and that is the ability of a mechanic who provides materials to place a lien. And I understand why the Florida legislature did it, but what they did was they created it so that if you are invited to a job by a contractor and you provide, say, a stack of bricks, and you are not paid for the stack of bricks by the contractor, you can put a lien on the person's house.
That's crazy.
And that person hired a legitimate licensed contractor, and the contractor is the one who screwed up.
right?
And yet, a subcontractor can impose a lien on the homeowner who did nothing wrong. So I don't know that I would say that that is unfairly tilted towards the contractor as a matter of they lobbied for it and they got it. But functionally, it doesn't sit right with me, and it often has strange results in the real world.
Yeah, and that happens.
All the
It
time.
happens quite a bit. I've
All the
heard it
time.
happening on Fort Myers Beach. So let's just role play here a little bit. Hypothetically, if there's a contractor, we'll loosely
we
use the
go.
word contractor. He starts working
Here
on a
we
house, and the house,
Here we go.
and the house somehow falls down off its stanchions into the ground. That may or may not have been caused by a storm. It's undetermined at this point.
This is like a bar exam question.
Really? Thank you
So
very
far,
much.
yeah.
So does the homeowner?
Which bar? That bar or your bar?
So there's a question as to whether or not the contractor actually even has insurance. Does that homeowner have any chance of recuperating any money?
Well, I mean, your hypothetical has a bunch of moving parts. I mean, one of them is, to what extent is it unclear why the damage was caused? I mean, if it was a storm, then if it was a severe enough storm, a contractor can say accurately, look, I did everything perfectly. If you had an act of God
Right.
that wrecked your place, I'm not the person who screwed that up. So you can't sue me for
An act of God. Yeah.
You got it. But there's experts that with varying degrees of reputability that you can hire, that one can hire, and if you search hard enough, you're going to find one that's going to give you an invoice to write a report that says that it was the shoddy contractor.
But no matter what, if the guy or person or lady or whatever doesn't have, or company doesn't have insurance, it's meaningless, right? You're not getting anything back.
I mean, yes is the big answer. There's certain sub answers, like FEMA exists in part to try and address situations like that where you got a complete human disaster, and it may be attributable to poor decision making on the part of the homeowner or the consumer, and yet you got a family with no home. So what do you
Andrew,
do?
Does FEMA really exist? You just said FEMA exists. I mean, does FEMA really exist in the real world?
It does.
Yeah.
They did send out some payments to people. It wasn't quite what everybody would want. It wasn't what everyone would hope for. But I would say that after Ian, I think they did. There are very few individual cases where I'm looking at it and shaking my head going, boy, FEMA completely screwed this up. I mean, they usually, maybe they didn't do as much as you'd hope.
So
But they did something.
Just
Let me just ask a question. Do contractors have to have insurance?
Yes, to properly be licensed, they do.
but that doesn't mean a homeowner has to pick a contractor that has insurance. They can do whatever they want to do as long as the permits get pulled, right?
What?
As long as they're permits, the town doesn't know. Does the town know?
Well,
Is it the town's responsibility to know if a contractor has insurance or
You
not?
just said they have to have it.
well, but the two of you are, I think, if I may, speaking in different contexts. You are speaking in legally what must they do. You are speaking in practically what is possible. It is possible to hire somebody without a license at all. It is possible to invite them into your home and say, I want you to build this and this and this. Here's a bunch of money. And yeah, sure, let's do a written contract. You can do that. But you're breaking a bunch of laws, and the contractor's committing a felony.
But when that person goes to town to pull permits, is it the town's responsibility? Is the person pulling the permit? Is the contractor pulling the permit? And then it's the town's job to make sure the contract. Whose job is it to make sure the contractor has insurance? The homeowner?
I mean, a town might take
Right.
it upon
Doesn't
themselves.
have to, though.
No,
Gotcha.
there's nothing
Gotcha.
saying they gotta be the one to check.
So hypothetically, if a country went into another country and just stole their leader, is that legal?
Shems?
No.
It's not legal. Like, I mean, well, you
Isn't everyone shocked? I don't know. I woke up and I saw it and I didn't believe it.
yeah.
I looked again and I looked again.
Well, it's happened before with Noriega, I guess, right? In Panama, they did the same thing, right? He's still rotting in some jail, or he's dead at this point. But
Well, what I experienced personally is the invasion in Iraq. And I remember after that, well, people were celebrating at first,
yeah,
but then after that, everyone was kind of crying. We want Saddam back.
they were crying.
But,
Yeah,
yeah,
because it's
they were
crazy
like-
over there now. Yeah,
because it got worse
yeah.
after that. So I don't know. Like I guess some people are still hopeful that they think that the situation is so bad that this is a glimpse of hope.
Yeah.
But
When did you go back to Turkey last?
8 years ago.
Oh, it's been a while. I thought
It's
you went
been a
back for to vacation or to
No, I recently went to vacation to Vegas.
Vegas. Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how did you like Vegas? Where'd you stay? At the Bellagio?
I work in legal aid, remember?
Okay. So speaking of that,
Circus.
You got it.
where does your funding come from?
So we historically have primarily been funded by Lee County, but over the last 5 or 6 years, we've been able to expand that dramatically. Actually, we've forged partnerships with agencies like the AARP. The United Way has been a really strong supporter of our expansion into other subject matters. We've got the Lee County Bar Association backing us, the Florida Bar Foundation, which now is renamed as the Funding Florida Legal Aid Association. I don't know about that acronym, but that's their new name. And we're proud to have a really great relationship with them. So we've been able to pull it together from a bunch of different institutional sources, and we've had more fundraisers. We had a gala a couple years ago that brought in
Ooh,
some dough.
gala.
We're looking forward to doing that again next year.
What is
Or
your
this
total?
year, it's
What is your
2026.
what is your total budget?
Our total budget this year, last year, we haven't formulated our budget for the next fiscal year because it's July to July, but we're in the middle of one right now where our budget is 2.1 million.
That's it.
That's it.
2.1 million. How many attorneys do you have on your staff?
Including Shems, which I do include, we have 5. But 5 years ago, we were just barely, we were under 600,000. So, and that was after 50 some years of existence. So we've been able to,
yeah.
we've been able to expand pretty dramatically here over the last couple of years.
And
Is
obviously,
there areas of law that you don't take on, or
Yeah, we don't mess with criminal law because they're in part because there's
Well,
a public
yeah.
defender who's elected and it's their job to represent indigent people who are charged with a crime.
so just so everybody knows, on January 14th, your goal is to help seniors. You're calling 50 and over senior.
Yep.
Even though that's
Ooh.
I'm not doing that, but the
That hurts.
the
That's-
AARP is doing that.
that's pretty
because-
painful.
Well,
So anyway, so what if?
Just kidding.
Just to be specific, if you live on the beach, you're trying to help people on the beach, or can they come from anywhere?
they can come from the goal. The event is centered on people who live on the beach, who are over 50, and who have some sort of issue related to contracting fraud or Ian damage or Irma damage. Now, that I don't know how many people that's going to cover. So we're more than happy to take anybody in Lee County of any age with really, quite frankly, any problem.
Okay.
As
well,
long
that's
as it's
nice.
not criminal.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll look to the left and look to the right, and if there's we're not supposed to give out advice on criminal stuff. But frankly, if it's a quick question,
So like rental stuff, you can comment on that, or employment stuff. Do you do stuff with employment?
So I would say landlord tenant stuff is Shem's strike zone, and she's better at that than I am at this point.
So I have a
Well,
question.
you didn't let employment.
Sorry.
That's okay.
If the neighbor's dog bit you or something like that, they shouldn't come to you and ask you if they have a criminal case. Really?
Yeah.
A civil case.
Yeah.
It was a dog biting another dog.
Really? What was
Yeah.
what was your ruling on that, Chems? What did you rule on that?
It was like, I think it was 2 pit bulls
Oh, okay.
that bit a small dog,
Oof.
and the dog died.
Oh,
And
that's a
the
shame.
owner of the small dog sued the pit bull owner for damages.
Yeah, did they win?
Well, it was like they just got sued and they came to our self-help clinics to
Yeah.
ask for advice.
Did you guys watch Dirty John?
I'm sorry, what?
Dirty John?
I didn't. No, I don't know what that is.
The Broderick
The
story?
Betty Broderick.
Betty Broderick. Does anybody has anyone watched that on
that?
Netflix?
Does that? Okay, you guys are pretty
No,
young.
no. What was the other one we watched last night? I'm getting them confused. What was the one? Oh, The Perfect Neighbor. The Perfect Neighbor. Has anyone watched that?
That's more relevant.
Yeah, so-
Yes, I think I have.
Okay, so this
Yeah.
this involved a case in Florida where it was in a neighborhood and there were a lot of kids playing, and there was a lady that didn't like kids, and so she would get into little skirmishes with the kids, and then one of the moms came over to the house and shot her
You're
through
really
the door
shortening this up.
and killed her through the door, shot her through the door because she said she was in fear for her life.
Okay.
How would you have taken that case, Andrew?
What I know, but it actually, there is a case we learned about in law school, and it's there's a couple iconic ones, and there's some favorites. One of them is the shotgun trap case, and it's this cabin. It's out in the middle of the woods, and somebody who owns a cabin knows that somebody keeps coming in the cabin, and they can't stand it, so they set up a shotgun trap where when somebody opens the door, a shotgun just blows them away.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a little extreme.
That's standing your ground.
Yeah,
Wow.
well, no, it's not, because the person isn't even there. I mean, it's
It's stretching
it's
it
a
to, yeah.
post hoc.
You guys
standing
should
up
watch
ground.
The Perfect Neighbor. It was worth watching
So-
last night.
well, wait a minute.
What
So
happened
what
with that
happened?
case?
Well, the American court system, and we learned about it in law school now, said you cannot do that. You cannot use deadly force in defense of property is the more generally applicable principle. Now, in Florida, we have stand your ground, and that means that if you are in a place where you lawfully have a right to be and you feel threatened, and you can explain why you feel threatened, maybe there's somebody in your house and you didn't invite them and it's the middle of the night.
That show
probably
last
enough.
night was a classic. I thought it was a classic example of the lady felt like she was being threatened. Somebody was banging on her door, but she shot through the door.
Yeah, I don't think that would fly. Only
She
because-
didn't
It
fly.
didn't
She's in
fly.
jail.
She's in jail for a
Yeah.
very long time. So, moral of this story then is you have to. You have to wait then till
Till you're
someone
you're
comes
halfway
in.
to death.
Well, yeah. I mean, if somebody is knocking upon your door, it suggests that they're doing that because they're not breaking the window. I mean,
Okay, what if somebody's going, I'm going to kill you if I get through the door. I'm going to kill you. That's what she said she was doing.
Okay.
I mean, but
Are they about to make it through the door?
I have no idea.
Because,
I doubt it. I
well,
doubt
I mean,
it.
I'm not. The reason I ask is it is about an imminent threat. I mean, is it about to happen? And that's
Yeah.
that's how assault
The
is
other,
gauged.
the other thing too is this had racial
It sure
overtones
did.
to
It
it.
sure did.
So
The lady
there was
that
a
got
whole
killed was
nother
black, and the lady behind the door was white.
white.
And I don't think, honestly, there was so much publicity for that case. I don't think she would have got arrested unless it was for the publicity, because they were just constantly getting on the police chief and the district attorney to make an arrest. And if you watch that, I love the police, but it looked like the interview
I
that they
think
did
they
with
should
the lady was, I mean, they were really coercing her to change her story.
Well,
in that specific case. That's
their
my view
their
of it.
job is to do that.
Is it really?
She just should have said. She should have
just
got
said,
legal.
I need an
She
attorney.
needed. She
She would
needed
keep her mouth shut.
representation. Yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't know. She didn't. I'm not saying she was right or wrong. I'm just saying that she should have had
Yeah.
You know, you presumed innocent until, you know,
So-
she should have had representation.
Diana has a question, a real question.
but there was a lot of
Yeah,
body
we should
cam
do our own
video.
TV review show. We should
No,
just where we
that's
review
that's
shows.
there-
Instead of
that
these people
that
don't care about
situation
what we
is a
watch
no
on
one
TV.
situation. I think people are fascinated by the legal stuff, or there wouldn't be all
Yeah.
those law
You're
shows
right,
like
you're
Law
right.
and Order. Bong bong. You know, that went on forever. You guys should do a
Yeah.
legal aid review.
A podcast,
kind
a
of.
legal aid show.
Yeah.
Is
Yes.
that not what we're doing right now?
Yeah,
Well,
no,
yeah,
you should
but-
do your own. You should
Good
do
point.
your own.
He just
We'll help
called-
you with it, but you should. That'd be very helpful.
Yeah, he just
people.
called you a dummy. So Diana's
He
question
didn't call me
is,
a dummy.
who are they? Who are they? Can you give out their information? I'm a senior who got taken advantage of during Ian. So maybe we haven't given out your information enough.
Well, sure. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly always call our office, and by always, I mean on Monday when we're open. You can always call our office at 239-334-6118. That's 239-334-6118. But one of the reasons we're here this morning is to direct people to the Fort Myers Beach Library on January 14th.
Yep.
From 9:30 to noon. So again, that's January 14th from 9:30 to noon at the Fort Myers Beach Library. And we'll be happy to triage your situation there and tell you what we think you should do next.
Do they have to call ahead and register, or just show up?
They can call ahead and register, but they can certainly just show up. So the second one, I guess, more than the first.
And bring all your
Bring everything you signed.
documentation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, bring your contract, right?
Particular that you can bring whatever
Bring
you
your
think is
papers.
important, but don't in your survey of what is important, don't forget things with two signatures on them, because that's what the court's going to look to first.
And will you have all 5 attorneys there, or will it be you two, or
I'm
staff?
guessing that Chems and I will be there. I'm guessing there'll probably be 1 or 2 other attorneys as well. But we'll know, frankly, when we all get back to the office on Monday and we figure out who's got what.
Where did you go to school?
I studied law in Istanbul and University of Miami.
Right. And you?
Michigan State.
Michigan
There's
State.
I'm surprised people. Usually, we have a lot of people here from Michigan. No
Well,
one.
Michigan.
Okay, all right.
Did Ohio State win, by the way? Speaking of Michigan, did they? No, they didn't win. I don't think they did win. They lost to Miami, didn't they? And then Alabama lost. Anyway, it's not a football podcast. So
Yeah, where did you go
I
to
don't
school?
know.
You
I
went to
didn't go
school at Brockport. Party
Anything-
School of the USA.
James, any other international advice you want to give our followers or anything about going overseas? My advice is never leave the United States. You're much safer between the borders. Yes. Anything else?
No, I just wanted to remind that we have giveaways in our January 14 events.
Okay.
And there are samples
shoot, I
here
forgot about
as
that.
Oh.
lunch bags
Very
and
nice.
sunglasses.
Terry,
And I
did you
think-
want us to give these away today, or are they for us? Oh, they're for us. Okay. Well, and these are the giveaways you'll have at the 14th.
Yes.
That's
Well,
correct.
Open it
yes.
up, dear. Show everybody what the giveaways will
So
be.
if you come, you get swag.
All right. That's very nice of you. With a $2.1
Well,
million
you get
budget, you're
glasses
giving away
and your
nice
UV
prizes here.
protection, so that's good. They didn't chintz on.
What is that? Is that a towel? Terry, what is that? It's a polo. Holy
polo.
smokes, you guys
Wow.
don't mess around. Very nice. So the event is January 14th at that gigantic building just a little bit south of here called the Fort Myers Beach Public Library. Will you be on the 3rd floor, the 2nd floor? Do you know where you're going to be? It's a big building.
Terry,
Probably the 3rd floor.
We don't
I'm guessing.
know.
Yeah, I'm guessing the 3rd floor. It's where a lot of the meetings take place. And it begins at 9:30. Bring all your documentation, everything you want the attorneys to see, and hopefully they'll be able to help you out if you're being taken advantage of by anybody, from contractors to insurance companies. It doesn't matter what it is. If the dog bit your neighbor, just bring all the documentation down that you can help with, and you'll triage them there.
you got it.
All right.
And this, dear, if you wear this beautiful polo shirt, this is not making you an honorary lawyer. So don't get any ideas. Don't ask him any questions.
Thank
Go
you,
to
guys.
these two.
For coming on, and we'll see you on January 14th at the library.
Yeah,
It's
and let us
absolute-
know when you want to do your podcast. We're, we're up
I
for
think
it.
that would be great.
Oh, I
It's,
think
it's
that'd be
absolutely our
fascinating.
pleasure.
There was a guy that used to do, an attorney that used to be on Stan and Haney every, once a week, or at least once a month, but maybe once a week. I forget his name. He
Is
was
that
on
the
our
one
show.
in Tampa?
No, he was on our show. Stan and Haney were on K-Rock before Haney had
Oh.
a stroke. I think it was Haney had the stroke.
Oh,
but
was
the-
it? It was the guy that we had on.
yeah, the
show
guy
at
that we had
Pete's
on. What's
Timeout?
his name? What was his name? Yeah, he was on all the time.
remember.
He's retired now, but I
He-
mean, I think he would
He was
answer
quite a
questions on the phone.
character.
We would just
That's
answer
all.
questions on the phone and let them
Yeah.
know whether or not he could help them. But I thought it was a great way for him to get business. If
God, I can't remember his
you guys
name.
decide to do a show or something, just let us know. We think it'll be great.
Yeah.
All right. Big hand for the folks from the Legal Aid Society, everybody. And if you have any questions or anything that you want them to answer, just give them a call at 239-334. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you.
239-334-6118. 239-334-6118. There's a big press conference taking place at 11 o'clock for those of you that have your phone. That's why we're kind of buzzing out of here to see what's going on with that. And we'll be back tomorrow morning. We're going to shut the internet off and do the drawing, so don't worry. We are going to do the drawing. Tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at Wahoo Willie's. We're going to have folks from the Women's Club on, and then we're going to have the mayor on. The Putt and Pub is January 17th, and there's also a St. Patrick's Day parade that's coming up on St. Patrick's Day, or right around there. They do it on the Saturday. So all that information will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock at Wahoo Willie's. They open at 9 o'clock. Enjoy this beautiful weather on Fort Myers Beach. Thanks to Annette. Her event is January 10th. Down at Santini Plaza. Thank you all for coming. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.